Hello, I'm Jeanne Fiorini. Thanks for joining the TarotWorks Tarot Tips series. The thing we're going to talk about today is the reason why you are at the tarot table. Why do you pick up your tarot cards? Why are you interested in tarot? Why do you spend the time and the money to learn how to work with your cards? This is something that we often don't think about. We often spend a lot of time and energy thinking about learning the methods. We're attracted to the cards for whatever reason. And we're probably aware that we're looking for answers, that we're looking to see things differently in a more expanded way perhaps. Liking and enjoying to participate in something with sort of a magical or mystical feel to it. But really, why are you at the tarot table? I'm not much of a internet surfer, but I have a friend who is, and recently she sent me a link for someone whose name is Simon Sinek. And first of all, he's really cute. Secondly, more importantly, his idea, his core idea, he's an advertising and marketing person, and his website is startwithwhy.com, startwithwhy.com. His core idea is that the successful business people, the people who are excellent leaders, are the people who not only know why they're doing what they're doing, but are able to convey that to their customers, to their consumers, to their employees. So it's not necessarily the person with the best product, it's the person who has a very clear and articulated sense of why they're doing or making or promoting or selling or whatever it is, whatever they're doing, and communicates this to their clientele. And when I saw his video, I was really struck by how important this is for people who read tarot. To think about the why. What is your why? That's going to be the tip or the thought for this installment. Tarot tip number 8 is to think about what is your why. I don't think it's really as important to understand or to think about how tarot works, although I think it's a good idea to have a articulate response for that, because people are going to ask you, why do you work with tarot, or how does it work, or how do you get answers to real life questions from a deck of cards? For you to come up with your own answer for that's pretty important, just for your own well-being. But it's helpful to have in your mind the notion of where you believe the information comes from, although I don't think it's as important as the why you're doing it. The analogy I like to use is that I use the telephone all the time. I don't know how it works, really, let alone the computer, but I use these things anyway, and don't let my inability to really understand the mechanics of it prevent me from using something that's very helpful to me in my life. So the how does it work, not as important as the why are you working with your cards in the first place. When I have a few groups that I call readers in training, and we talk a lot about for the person who's doing the reading to be clear as they can about their own perspective on life, their own worldview, what they bring to the table, and to think about what is their role as they're working, either with themselves, with the cards, or with another person. Are you there to be a good listener, to try to understand what the cards might be trying to convey? Let's say you're working with another person, or you're reading cards for a friend. Are you there as a counselor? Are you there as a mirror for what they are experiencing? Are you there as someone to provide guidance? Are you there using psychic abilities or psychic gifts or psychic awareness? Are you there to fulfill that role for somebody, to be able to tap into something that they can't? Sometimes I say to people that my role is essentially a cheerleader, to believe in them, to have faith in them, and that's very easy for me to do when I'm sitting across from people. I have a lot of confidence in their ability to create the life that they want to create. So to be thinking about your role is important, but again, the why is so much more important. What is your reason for working with cards, whether it is for yourself or for other people? Just for the record, I'll say that, and this is the reason I think my friend sent me the link to the Simon Sinek website, was that she said that I knew what my why was. And I do know what it is, but I really didn't understand how important it was. Because whether or not I convey this directly to people, I think it's understood in a session that, at least in this moment, I know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Again, for the record, my why is to increase consciousness. Not only my consciousness, my awareness of what's possible, but that consciousness in other people. And for me, this works on two levels. It helps us, the tarot, working with the tarot, either in readings or just as a study of a metaphysical system, can help us to understand or see a much bigger picture of the world and the universe and our life experience that we might not have had without such a study. But in addition to that, so there's that idea of expanding consciousness in terms of our own experience of life. But secondly, and also, let me go back just a little bit, the idea of seeing options, kind of breaking out of certain ways of thinking and being able to see things in a new light. This is a very powerful thing that tarot is an excellent tool for. But the secondary thing that happens in a reading especially is that a client leaves with a larger perspective of what is possible just by the fact that tarot works. So if we can pull out cards, talk about somebody's life in a real and genuine way, what does that mean about the mechanics of the universe? What does that mean about how energy or information is transmitted? This is an idea that could have very far-reaching consequences. So that idea of expanding consciousness really on two levels: personal consciousness, the collective consciousness, and the notion of what's possible for us as human beings on the planet. So it might sound a little grandiose, but that's my why. So think about your why, and we'll see you next time. Thanks very much for tuning in.